Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's open a beverage of your choice. Because today is Friday, and it's time for another episode of Frightful Fridays, in which I will be reviewing the 2017 movie called You Can't Take It Back. I think the star's name is Anna Kodo, I think, and it's got the fantastic, nobody's better actor Logan Paul in it. It is a kind of a cyberbullying horror movie in which you have the central character named she is a new girl in school, and it starts out with her at a party, pool party, and I guess she's left alone over the weekend with her, by her parents. She's new in school, obviously new girl, and so she goes to the party with the popular kids, and so they're out in the pool drinking, doing stuff, and then you have the two other popular mean girls who, at a little later, they're all kind of getting blasted, and they talk her into leaving a really mean comment on some girl's social media page. I guess it's supposed to be like Facebook or something like that. And then, like the next morning, she doesn't know who this girl is. I mean, she's never met her before, because but then the next morning she feels bad and tries to take it off, and it won't. It turns out that this girl in middle school, eighth grade, killed herself due to cyberbullying, and then the other kids start getting. There's only like 3 of the kids start getting killed. It is rated 18 plus for violence. What is it? Violence, alcohol use, and the worst of the worst, smoking, and drug use. But so that's just the basic gist of it. You have the jilted person who and turns out the person they left the message for had killed herself in middle school. I may have said that already. So this is like 4 years later, and so you've got these kids are like committing suicide, and they're trying to figure out why and all this stuff. Here's the thing with this movie. It starts out kind of, in an interesting, kind of a fun movie. It's, what they do with all these movies, they're all pretty much the same, and it works kind of well through the end of the second act. There's some with all these movies, there are certain things that sometimes they have to make certain concessions and have people do things that just make no logical sense in order to get the story to work. And I was able to overlook some of them, but then once you hit the third act, once you get to the last, say, half hour of the movie, I think it's about an hour and a half, that's when it starts to fall apart. You know, the first part there isn't any real tension. You know, it's all, you know, building the story up and getting things going and all that. But then once you hit the third act and stuff, you're supposed to have some sort of tension. You're supposed to have some sort of scares. You're supposed to have some sort of concern about the characters, and you know, and horror and all that. It's a horror movie. This one, the first two acts, it's kind of fun and interesting. But then once you hit the third act, it just starts to go into this overly long and convoluted explanation of what's happening, of, you know, what's going on, and, you know, what's all this, and you have people doing stuff that makes absolutely no sense. Like the main girl, she has to go. She goes to talk to this person who's a psychiatrist who had counseled this girl before she committed suicide. And this guy just starts, you know, yes, the girl is dead, but he just starts telling this girl those, you know, the details of everything that's happening. It's like, why are you telling this girl this? She's just some rando chick who comes off the street you've never met before once in your life. She has no right to know this stuff. She has no reason to know this stuff. And you're just volunteering the information, going, "Wow, this," and then here's what I did, and here's it's the, you know, treatment that I was using started to work, and then this happened, and then this happened. You're like, this would never fucking happen. And this is after the, you know, the stereotypical, let's go and do some research and find out what I can find to lead into this type of stuff. And then you know, once you get into stuff, all it is jump scares. And yes, there, you know, a lot of movies they rely, some of them rely a little heavily on jump scares, which is happening a lot with some of these days with modern writing. But this one is overly reliant, and that's all it is. There's no other tension in there. It's just jump scare, and then doing, you know, something else, and then another jump scare, and then this ghost that, you know, starts doing the old, you know, movement and moving oddly and blinking in and out, and, you know, the crackling sound, which has become common these days. And it's just that combined, like I said, with the overly just convoluted story as to what caused it and then how to try and solve it, it just falls apart, and it's like, I don't know if they were just trying to be original and make it a little different, but whatever they're doing, it didn't work. And so it just, you sort of invest this time in the story, and which was a little above mid to begin with. It was kind of enough to hold your attention a little bit, but then it just goes off the cliff at the end, and it was just like, no, there's no good point to it at all. It just made it bad. It just, there was, I couldn't. It's a very dissatisfying ending, especially with the little twist they tried to throw in there. I cannot recommend this movie. I'm going to give it, what, a 1.5 out of 5? And just say, don't bother. Because it wasn't worth the time or the effort of watching it. So, 1.5 out of 5 for You Can't Take It Back. Just give it a pass. Anyway, let me know if you watched it, what you thought of it. If you did watch it, like, subscribe, and most possibly share, and most of all, try and enjoy your horror movies.